Hi everyone, I'm Father Scott Vanderveer from St. Patrick's in Ravenna and St. Mary's in Coxsackie. I have no words for what this experience is like. This virus has attacked us in every way. We're living in fear about our bodies, our emotions have gone crazy, our thoughts have been invaded, we don't know how to think about any of our future plans. And every project we were working on now just feels like it's not important. That's not the only virus we have to deal with, though. There is a second virus, and that's the one that I want to talk about today because that is the one that is spiritually connected. The other virus, besides corona, that can affect us is fear. And spiritually, we need to work really hard right now to stay away from fear and stay connected to gratitude. You may have heard of the New York Times columnist David Brooks, who was speaking on PBS recently. And I didn't see it, but people told me about what he said. He's been studying pandemics as a part of his writing right now. And he said that if you look back over the history of pandemics, the Black Plague, the Spanish flu, they always bring people back together, which I was so excited to hear because we are the most divided we have been since the Civil War. We desperately need to come back together. So when I heard that, I was thrilled. But then he went on. Usually in pandemics, people are united and connected for about the first 3 weeks. And then things get hard. And then they don't have enough hand sanitizer or toilet paper or baby wipes or real milk. And they start seeing their neighbors as rivals. They start looking at other people and not seeing that they're suffering too and looking at them as adversaries. That is what happens when the virus of fear attacks. There are many more of us who will survive COVID-19 than there are who will avoid fear. So this is something that I remember hearing years ago that really guides me. The poet Maya Angelou was being interviewed by a Canadian interviewer very near the end of her life when she was in her mid-80s. And he said, "Dr. Angelou, we do not know how much longer you'll live. What do you want to do with the rest of your life?" And she said, "I want to spend the rest of my life being an example of my race, a good example of someone of my race." Now pause with that for a second and see what that makes you think of. And then she went on, "I mean the human race. I want to show how beautiful humans can be. I want to demonstrate how kind, how noble, how thoughtful, how generous a human person can be. I want to be a good example of my race, the human race." And I was so moved by that. And that's what the world needs right now. We need to be striving through our spiritual practices to become beautiful examples of the human race. No matter who we are or where we come from, whether we're watching this in Coxsackie or Ravenna or somewhere overseas, we need to become the most noble, beautiful, kind, resilient, resourceful, amazing people we can be. I know that in my life, that is impossible without prayer. One day without prayer, and I am a totally different person. And all of us are going to need to figure out how we can connect to what is most essential. Our souls cannot get the coronavirus, but they can get the virus of fear. And prayer is what we can use to keep our hearts strong and to keep our spirits able to endure this hard time. So I want to talk with you today about some things that you can do, whether you're a member of our parish, whether you're not, or whether you're watching this right now in Japan. Here's some things that we are going to be doing and we would like to invite you to be a part of. The first thing is we will be live streaming our Mass from right here at St. Patrick's in Ravenna at 9:30 Eastern Time on Sunday mornings. You do not need to watch it at that time because once the Mass ends, it's always available as an on-demand selection on our YouTube channel. So go to the St. Patrick's Ravenna webpage and just click on the button to watch Mass. And not only will you find the Mass that's live at 9:30, you'll find all of the Masses from the past 3.5 years here at St. Patrick's. But that is not going to get you through every hard day of the week. You're going to need more. We cannot live just Sunday to Sunday right now. It's too hard. So, the second thing we want to talk to you about is we are very likely to not be able to leave our homes by the time you're watching this. That's very likely to be the directive that the government gives us to keep us safe. So, some people are saying, I've made a decision to pray every day at 3 p.m. I'm going to pray in the way that is right for me, and I'm going to know that the others in my parish are praying also. So some people have said, I'm going to pray the rosary at 3. Others have said, I'm going to do the Divine Mercy Chaplet. Some people have said, I'm going to do centering prayer, or I'm going to do the 3 C's, the coffee, candle, Christ thing, take a tea break in the afternoon and light a candle and just sit there in silence and breathe. Whatever you do, if you do it at 3 o'clock Eastern time, you're going to know that your parish is doing it with you. And even though we can't be together, we are together. Another thing that we are hoping to allow you to do is we're going to be creating as a staff a plan for small groups to be able to pray. It's going to involve taking the readings of the weekend, but then also some discussion questions, maybe some beautiful things that we've seen on social media that week. It'll allow us to share some universal prayers that will allow us to pray for an intercession together, and it'll allow us to say the Lord's Prayer. We'll have a chance to give roles for prayer to different people, and it could be a beautiful way to stay connected to your family and really nurture your spirit. Maybe it'll happen for you on a Wednesday night. Maybe it'll happen on a Tuesday morning. It could happen on Friday, whenever is right for you. What we're hoping that you'll do is connect with other parishioners who also want to do this. Many people use media for work in order to do distance. So maybe you use Zoom, or you use Instagram Live, or some other form of streaming app. Well, that could work for this. Maybe you don't, but you could be on the phone with another parishioner and go through this together. We're going to be putting those on our Facebook page and on all of our platforms, and we'll be emailing them out to anybody on our email list. What a beautiful way to stay connected. It actually could allow you to have prayer at 3 o'clock every day, a prayer service once a week, or more if you wanted it, and Sunday Mass. I think that could help us to stay really connected. Another thing that you can do right this minute, we are providing some redistribution services for people who have supplies. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Many people felt the virus of fear come into them, and they panic bought a ton of stuff. They have enough toilet paper to last to 2090, and we understand why. That's so human. But right now it's not helpful, because there are people who don't have toilet paper. There are people who do not have baby wipes or hand sanitizer or other necessary things. If you have over-purchased, or if someone else has given you something that you already had, we invite you to come to either one of our churches anytime we're open, dawn to dusk, and place them on the pews that are labeled for those items. So maybe you've got a couple of jugs of hand sanitizer that you can share. Bring them, we'll place them on the hand sanitizer pew. That also means that if you're somebody who is lacking any of those items, you can come here. It'll be an opportunity for you to engage your faith and your conscience, because you may be somebody who's never, ever needed someone to give them something before. But you're also going to be tempted by that virus of fear to grab the entire 12-pack. And we're challenging you to consider just taking what you need, just having what it is that your family needs to get you through that next week. And then when we can go back to the store, and when the stores can be restocked, we can have more. There's so much more I want to say, but I think I should end it there. I want to let you know that I am praying for you. And I know that that sounds, oh, thanks, thoughts and prayers. We often say that in our culture. You're in my thoughts and prayers. But I want you to know that that's my job. That's what I've given my life for. And there's lots of people in our society who have said before, I'll pray for you, or I'm thinking of you. And they may have remembered or they may have not. But right now, that's not happening. Do you not feel that going on in your own life? We are really praying. We really need help. And so I thought maybe I would close with this psalm, one of the most beloved psalms, Psalm 91. And it was put to a beautiful tune by Marty Haugen. And I'd like to just share this with you and see if it connects to how you're feeling right now. Be with me, Lord, When I am in trouble, be with me, Lord, I pray. Those who cling to the Lord live secure in God's love. Lifted high those who trust in God's name. Call on the Lord, who will never forsake you. God will bring you salvation and joy. Be with me, Lord, when I am in trouble. Be with me, Lord, I pray. God bless you. I'm going to go sanitize this now.